Hey, it's me, Nalthazar, and welcome to another Magic the Gathering Puzzle Quest video. In today's video, I'm going to be going over what I think is the strongest core for any deck in Standard right now. So, let's get into it. In the event that you don't know what a core is for a deck, it is the few cards that you are going to be building your deck around. They're going to be the main staples that are going to make everything work. Now, the strongest core in the entire game is Whir of Invention with Omniscience, right? Those are just two cards, but they just do so much. They're so reliable and so powerful that they are absolutely ridiculous. However, for Standard, these four cards here come together to form what I think is the best core in Standard. So these are the best four cards that you can build a deck around in Standard. Now, there are really two things that you want from a core in your deck, right? So you want it to be flexible. It needs to have flexibility. And you want it to be consistent. It needs to have consistency. This particular core is going to provide you with both immense flexibility and incredible consistency. So let's get into the cards and go over why I think this is the best core in Standard. There's only one creature in it. This creature is Yasharn, Implacable Earth. If you do not have this card, I would strongly recommend that you chase it to the best of your abilities and get it in your collection. Yasharn is a 7/7 for 15. While it's on the battlefield, your land supports gain Resilient, which is actually very nice. It's not the main part of this core, but it's still very nice to have. And when this creature enters the battlefield, fetch the first two different cards with Landforming from your library. And finally, when a creature dies, exile it instead. Now, the real key here is the second ability, that when this creature enters the battlefield, fetch the first two different cards with Landforming in your library. That means that if your deck has two or fewer cards with Landforming in it, you are guaranteed to fetch the two cards or the one card that you are trying to get with Yasharn. So the really cool thing about Yasharn, apart from that, right, is that Yasharn is one creature, right? You play him, you get one, or it, them, I don't know. And then you get two more cards. Those cards potentially both have Landforming, right? So that means that you're getting Yasharn, you're getting a card, that card is going to create a land, you're getting another card, that other card is going to create a land, you're getting at least 5 cards just for playing Yasharn. So that is crazy card advantage if you want to start counting cards. The next piece is Turn Timber Symbiosis. This is the Landforming card that you absolutely want to make sure that you have for this core. It's another card that you absolutely, definitely are going to want to chase. Turn Timber Symbiosis is 18 mana. You're going to pick one of the first 4 different creatures from your library and put it onto the battlefield under your control. You don't have to pay for its mana. Then if that creature's base cost is 11 or less, it gets a permanent +6/+6 buff. Then with Landforming, so if what part of the swap that you make is a horizontal gem swap, then you're going to get this Serpentine Wood land that is going to convert 3 gems to green, and at the beginning of your turn, increase your green mana bonus by 1 until end of turn, right? So Turn Timber Symbiosis is another absolutely bonkers card because you play Turn Timber, you get to pick whatever creature you want. If you want, you can just keep fetching Yasharns to make sure that you get Turn Timber and something else. And then you get the critter, and then you get the land. So Turn Timber Symbiosis is you play the card, and you're getting at least 2 things for it. If you're playing the right creatures in your deck, you're going to be getting at least 3 things for it. So if you play Turn Timber to get Yasharn, it's kind of like you're getting Turn Timber, so the land, Yasharn, and 2 more cards with Landforming. So it's like you're getting 4 cards just for playing Turn Timber Symbiosis. So think of Turn Timber as you're getting 3 or 4 cards just for playing the one. The next card is an exclusive. You don't absolutely have to have this card, but if this card for some reason comes back into the shop because it was in the Moldiah Channeler's bundle, make sure that you pick this bundle up. This card is absolutely meta-defining right now. This is an amazing card to have. If not, then it's only a rare, so you're going to definitely want to make sure that you target this with your booster crafting when Kaldheim comes out. So for this particular card, this is a 7 mana spell. And when you play this, you pick 2 of the first 4 lands or cards with landforming from your library, fetch them, and destroy the others. Then you may choose to pay kicker, so you may drain 4 mana from your hand to convert 6 gems to your Planeswalker's colors. What this means is that for playing Realms Uncharted, you're going to get 2 cards, ideally 2 cards with landforming, which means that you're actually getting 4 cards, right? Because you're getting 2 lands and 2 other abilities. And you're also going to convert gems to your Planeswalker's colors. So you're going to start filling up all the mana that you've lost, most likely, by paying the kicker cost. This card is absolutely crazy, especially because it is green, and there's just so much green conversion right now that you're going to be getting just so much out of it. Like, if you look at the first 3 cards, you'll notice a trend. Realms Uncharted, you're getting 4 things for it. Turn Timber, you're getting 3 or 4 things for it. Yasharn, you're getting 5. So you're just getting so many different, you're getting so many cards for playing so few cards that that's really where you're getting the consistency from, right? And then the final card is going to be Reclaim the Wastes. Reclaim the Wastes is a common. It's going to be very much like a slightly weaker version of Realms Uncharted. And so Reclaim the Wastes is 8 mana. You're going to convert 7 gems to green, and then you may pay 4 for the kicker to fetch the first card with landforming from your library, which means that you're going to get a whole bunch of mana, and then you may kick it to go ahead and fetch your Turn Timber or whatever your other card with landforming is. Now, the other piece to this, right, because I mentioned that consistency piece a moment ago, is you'll see that Reclaim the Wastes is going to fetch the first card with landforming from your library. Realms Uncharted is going to pick 2 of the first 4 cards, ideally with landforming from your library. Turn Timber Symbiosis is going to fetch any creature that you want from your library. You should never play with more than 4 different creatures in your deck. And finally, Yasharn is going to fetch 2 different cards with landforming. So you'll notice that between Yasharn, Turn Timber, Realms Uncharted, and Reclaim the Wastes, all 4 of these have the ability to fetch us something with landforming, because we can just fetch, once again, Yasharn with Turn Timber. This also means that we can use the abundance of cards that we have with landforming at our disposal to go ahead and make this incredibly flexible. We have so much flexibility from this, it's almost not even fair. If we take a look at cards that have landforming right now in Standard, you'll notice that there's actually quite a lot of removal within landforming, and not just removal, but there are other excellent options as well. So you can use the second card from from Yasharn, or you can use Turn Timber to fetch it to make sure that you get Hagra Mulling. So now, whenever you play Realms Uncharted, or you play Yasharn, or you play Turn Timber to get Yasharn, you're going to be getting both Turn Timber and Hagra Mulling. You're going to be getting both a removal spell, and you're going to be getting another beefy creature. If you so choose to go a slightly different route, right? Let's say that you have Shatterskull Smashing, then you can go ahead and get both Turn Timber and you can get a board wipe, right? As this is going to do 20 divided amongst your opponent's creatures. If you're just going to be able to keep getting these, and with all the mana that you're going to be getting from all the gem conversion, you're just going to be able to consistently wipe the opponent's field with this. It serves as incredible removal. Or let's say that you don't have those, you could actually go ahead and have Colony Ambush as your other choice, because this is going to make it so that your first creature fights target opposing creature. And with all of the different creatures that you're going to be playing between the Turn Timbers and then Yasharn's fetching more Turn Timbers and all the gem conversion, you're probably going to be able to survive the fighting against your opponent's creatures. Or heck, let's say that we want to go a totally different route. You choose to go ahead and fetch yourself Solundi Vision along with Turn Timber. Now you're getting Solundi Vision, which is going to let you fetch one of the first 4 spells from your library. You can use this to fetch removal. You can use this to fetch another Turn Timber. You can use this to fetch another Realms Uncharted. You can use this to fetch, well, you get the idea. Fetch, 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 fetch. It's like Fido is having a field day with this deck. I'm telling you guys, it's crazy. Seriously, it's absolutely ridiculous. And the reason why I wanted to go ahead and put this video together for you guys is I have filmed about, I want to say 6, maybe 7 different decks, and I was getting into the edit process for them, and I was like, wait a minute, the core of all of these decks is the exact same. So before I start posting any of these decks, what I need to do is I need to make this video about this core, and then go over why I think it is so powerful, and then I can go ahead and post some of those other decks along with the gameplay that's going to be in this particular video. So to go back to my core, right, there are 4 cards that you definitely want to make sure that you get your hands on. They're going to be Yasharn, Turntimber Symbiosis, Realms Uncharted, not Chandra Awakened Inferno, although I love her. It's not that you don't want to have her, it's just she is not part of the core for this, right? And finally, not Mold Shambler. Back, Reclaim the Wastes, right? So we're going to go back to edit. We're going to remove the other pieces of the core that are not in this and go ahead and see we've got Yasharn, Turntimber, Realms Uncharted, and Reclaim the Wastes. Now I want to go ahead and show you guys some action of these in play, and so you're going to get to see just how absolutely ridiculous they are. And I'm going to go over the deck that I'm using and explain part of why it's just so absolutely absurd. So this particular deck that I'm going to be using is a Garruk 3 deck. And so with this deck, it's going to be based around the core that you saw between Yasharn, Turntimber, Reclaim the Wastes, and Realms Uncharted. But we're also going to be throwing in Ancient Green Warden and Avatar of Growth. Ancient Green Warden is going to read that whenever a land support enters the board under your control, you convert 6 gems to your Planeswalker's colors. Garruk is mono green, so this means it's going to convert 6 gems to green. It also has this wonderful ability, at the beginning of combat on your turn, return the first land support from your graveyard to the board. Well, if you didn't notice just in the little subtext here of Realms Uncharted, the cards that you don't fetch are destroyed, and it's going to fetch either lands or cards with landforming. So this is going to be dumping lands into your graveyard, which means that Ancient Green Warden is going to be bringing you back lands for free, which means that you're going to be converting a heck of a bunch of gems to green. But if that wasn't enough, Avatar of Growth exists. Why Avatar of Growth exists, I don't know, but I love that it does. Thank you, Octagon. So Avatar of Growth, when it enters the battlefield, is going to convert X gems to green, in this case 4, because that's her green mana bonus, potentially 5, because of Turntimber Symbiosis' land. And then you get to fetch the first 2 land supports from your library and put them directly onto the battlefield under your control. So Avatar is going to be converting up to 5 gems, and then it's going to play 2 lands, which are both going to convert 6 gems to green, which means that we're going to get a grand total of 12 gems to green from the lands, and another 5 gems to green from the Avatar for 17 gems to green for every time that we play an Avatar. And if that wasn't enough, all of the lands that we're playing are going to have resilience. So all of this green gem conversion ain't going to do be squat against them gems because they're just going to have resilient. If you didn't understand my horrible English there, it just means that our gems are going to be totally safe from all of the cascades and the landfalls because they're going to have resilient. Now to round out the deck, my removal card is going to be Colony Ambush because I mentioned this is mono green. This is very reliable, especially when you've got Ancient Green Warden and you can use Garruk's second ability to turn it into a leader and reinforce it 3 times every single turn because you're converting so many blasted gems to green. You're getting loyalty out the ears. And then finally we've got Castle Garenbrig and Gingerbread Cabin for a little bit more gem conversion. And I'm running the Great Henge here just so that I can get a little bit of boosted card draw. So this deck is absolutely wackadoodle bonkers. It's nuts. It's oh man, it's crazy, guys. But the real thing to take away from this is the core of Yasharn, Turntimber, Reclaim the Wastes, and Realms Uncharted. Keep an eye out for those 4 cards during the gameplay. You're definitely going to see them popping up a lot. And so you're going to see just the absolute flexibility and consistency of this particular core. Oh, and then also, right, there's one other thing, right? The flexibility. So what makes this so flexible, right? You want to have all of this flexibility in your deck because it means that you can handle pretty much any situation that the game decides to throw at you. Now, this here is a deck that I was just making to show off big boom power, but when I'm actually playing it for realsies, I actually would wind up throwing in some kind of extra creature destruction and support removal just for extra safety. But with this particular core, if you build a decent deck around it, there is you can do anything. You can run up against any situation and you can overcome it. You just need to make sure that you're getting your absolutely ridiculous card advantage, right? So this deck is consistent. By this deck, I mean this particular core is going to be consistent, and it's absolutely going to be flexible. So let's get into the gameplay. So for the gameplay, I'm going to do something that I haven't done as much lately, and I'm going to do a live comm. So I'm going to do a live commentary as I play so that I can go over and highlight the different things that I want to do in real time. So my first opponent is Ashiok. That means that I'm going to be up against probably some hyper removal, but that's okay. We're able to deal with anything we want. You'll see that in my starting hand, I've got Yasharn, I've got the Henge, and I've got the Avatar. The first card here that I'm going to be playing is definitely going to be the Avatar. You might be wondering why I'm choosing the Avatar over Yasharn here, and it's because the Avatar is going to A, convert a whole bunch of gems to green for us, and B, it's also going to give us lands, which are going to convert even more gems to green for us. So we do ultimately want to get the Yasharns down, but before we get the Yasharns down, we definitely want to make sure that we're getting as much other goodness into play as possible. So we're getting 2 gingerbread cabins. We don't actually get our super sweet Castle Garenbrig here, but that's not the end of the world. We're fine with that. Now, the next card that we've just pulled is Realms Uncharted. You're going to see that I'm going to prioritize this over Yasharn. And if you're wondering, Malthazar, why are you prioritizing this over Yasharn now? Well, this also is going to convert gems. And so gem conversion is absolutely king here. So we're going to go ahead, take the red match, and then next turn we're going to be able to match for our Realms Uncharted. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to move that up, and then we're going to take a green match, just figuring out which one because we don't have red. So yeah, we've got an obvious answer here. Who are we kidding now, Lazar? And then we're going to pick 2 cards. I'm going to take the Turn Timber and I'm going to take the Colony Ambush. I'm going to have those go straight to my hand. And I am absolutely going to kick the Realms Uncharted. I'm kicking it for a few reasons. One, because once I play this, I will only have space for, I'll only be able to, back a step. Yasharn is the creature that's charged at the top of my hand. So when it plays, it's only going to be able to fetch me 1 card. And so I'd ideally like to fetch it 2, but nope, that's not happening. We're going to play both Yasharns. Okay, we're going Super Commando here. Hoo-ha! Extra power. So we lost a reinforcement. I'm guessing this is due to our opponent's little Mogus thing, right? Your opponent loses a creature reinforcement. Okay, yep, that's exactly what happened. But that's not an issue at all, because we have a whole bunch of Turn Timber Symbiosises. And with the Turn Timber Symbiosises, we're now going to start working on getting ourselves our beautiful, horrible, amazing, and terrifying Green Warden. So even though I don't have the Landforming here, I'm absolutely going to take the Green Warden, because the Green Warden's going to bring back this castle, which is going to convert 6 gems to green. And this means that next turn I can start doing horrible, horrible things. So a 5/3 is going to swing into the Green Warden, no big deal. And things are looking pretty sweet. So let's go ahead, use Hunting Pack. We're going to reinforce the Green Warden 3 times. And then we're going to make that 5 match, which is absolutely going to be giving us Landforming. The Great Henges are going to work out. I actually don't need that ambush anymore. So this is going to give us the Landforming necessary to make wonderful things happen. Let's take an Avatar of Growth to convert all of our gems to green that we do not deserve. Look at this. Look at this. Absolutely absurd. The next one, we're going to be going ahead and taking Yasharn. Oh my gosh, this is busted, guys. So we're going to take Yasharn so that we can just rinse, lather, and repeat next turn. So here's Yasharn. Yasharn is going to get us another Turn Timber Symbiosis, and it's also going to be getting us... Oh my, this isn't even over. That's crazy. And I think we already used our second ability here, right? Yep, we definitely did. And so you know what? I'm actually going to not take the green match. I'm going to take the red match just so that we have more green gems on the battlefield. And I'm going to go ahead and start whapping Ashiok. So Ashiok gets whappy-wappied, which is good. And then this is very much over. We're going to go ahead, use our second ability. It's going to go ahead and reinforce the Green Warden 3 more times. We're going to move Realms Uncharted up. I'm going to put Colony Ambush above Turn Timber. If you're wondering why I'm doing that, it's so that Realms Uncharted is going to kick from Colony Ambush's mana, not from the other one. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this green match, because it's going to give me a 5 match, and we love 5 matches. At least I do. I'm going to go ahead and look at what I've got. There's really nothing that I want there, which is okay. I am going to absolutely kick that. I'm going to play the Turn Timber. I'm going to play Yasharn, because this is going to get me 2 more goodies. And we're going to draw cards, of course, because of the absolute bonkersness that is this deck. We're going to move Reclaim the Wastes up. We're going to move Turn Timber up. We're going to toss these ambushes because we don't need these ambushes. We're actually just going to keep that 1 so that we can drain it with Reclaim the Wastes. We're going to make another 5 match because that's just going to happen when you're converting the whole board to your colors. We're going to Reclaim the Wastes. We're absolutely going to play it. We're going to now take the Avatar, I think. Right? Or should we take another Yasharn just in case? Let's take another Yasharn just in case. What the heck? Why not? Let's see what we can get. Oh, man. We're going to convert a whole bunch more gems. Oh, geez. We're going to get another Great Henge. We're going to have another Turn Timber that we can play. So, let's see. Do we actually have enough mana to be able to play the Turn Timber is the better question. The answer to that is no. We don't have the mana to play the Turn Timber. Oh, well. We tried our best. No more Turn Timbers for this match. But honestly, that's okay. The Garen Brig and whatnot, right? Because we need a black match that we don't have. So, oh well. Rip the dream. Well, we can try. Let's make this blue. Let's see if we get a red one. Nope. Gingerbread Cabin is going to convert more gems for us. Jeez. All right, goodbye, Ashiok. That's game 1. Now, that might not have seemed absolutely crazy to you, just because you might be thinking to yourself, come on, Althazar, that Green Warden only had like 48 power there. But in a lot of my matches, the Green Warden has well over 100 power. There is not a Mogus taking away its reinforcements every turn. But even though they were there, it really wasn't a big deal. You will notice that there was basically nothing that Ashiok could have done. I mean, Ashiok could have played a Ruinous Ultimatum or something, which would have been a little bit of a bummer, but whatever. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to play a second match just to go ahead and prove the absolutely ridiculous, nonsensical consistency that this core in this deck has. So this is a great startup again. We're going to once again try and get the Avatar of Growth first. Actually, no, I'm going to take Realms Uncharted first here. Let's change up the game plan, boss. You'll see that I am freezing everything down. That's just because I want to make sure that I can kick Realms Uncharted. That's very important. My opponent is playing with tokens. That's cool. That's definitely not scary at all. But Nahiri is really scary, actually. Don't listen to me. That was false bravado. Whatever. We're definitely going to be able to kick Realms Uncharted. We're going to take Turn Timber and the Ambush, and we're going to kick that to get a bunch of green gems, which is going to give my opponent 5 matches. Oh no. My opponent does not have... Oh, Greg. Oh, you poor thing, Greg. You fool, as Gandalf would say. Yeah, that was that was a bad play, Greg. Yeah, we're absolutely going to be kicking that. And then Greg is probably kicking himself. Am I right? Jeez Louise, my dude. So we're going to play Avatar of Growth followed by Yasharn. We're looking at our matches here to see if there's any extra goodness that we can do. The short answer is no. No extra goodness, Althazar. Just normal levels of goodness. But whatever. Normal levels of goodness is good enough for me. Avatar of Growth gives us a big boom. Yasharn is going to give us 2 more Landforming cards, which gives us our removal and another Turn Timber. And we're absolutely going to be playing Turn Timber for the Green Warden here because that's going to convert some gems. And at the beginning of combat, it's going to convert some more gems because gem conversion is an absolute must. And this beautiful little setup that Nahiri has going is going to lose the first critter, but my Green Warden knows better than to block the second critter, which is good. Good job, Green Warden. And we're going to be using our second ability. Second ability costs 12. We have 30 loyalty already. 30 loyalty. We are going to be able to use this second ability every single turn. When I said every single turn, the first time, I really was not exaggerating, guys. You're really going to be using it like every single turn. It's that wacky, guys. It's that wacky. So we're going to get rid of 1 ambush. We're going to play another Yasharn here. You're going to see a bunch of horrible, horrible stuff happening for our opponents. Let's go ahead and convert some more gems. Why not? We like gem conversion. So if you're wondering what was that was Castle Garenbrig doing its thing because, you know, Castle Garenbrig is fair and balanced. Yasharn is going to come out. We're going to get lands due to landforming, but those lands due to landforming are going to convert gems because of the Green Warden. We're going to go ahead and play... It's so tempting to play another Yasharn here, guys, but I'm going to take Avatar of Growth here just to get all of my hand down here. So we're definitely going to be able to play our whole hand, no questions asked, even though I am going to be kicking things. So we're getting even more gem conversion. Oh my gosh, and the lands can't even break, which is just ridiculous. Look at this. What even is this? Yeah, we're definitely going to go ahead and kill our opponent's critter. That's going to give us yet another land. Oh no, we just took a little bit of damage. What are we going to do? We're going to get another Yasharn, which is going to get us 2 more goodies, which is, obviously what we want. We're going to Realms Uncharted. We want none of this, so I'll take a Garen Brig, and then I'll kick this to get even more gem conversion, which obviously is much, much good. We're going to get another Henge down. We're going to get those down, and oh, perfect. Nahiri's going to survive another day. Right, now let's pretend that Nahiri wipes the board here, right? Does she? No, she doesn't. But let's pretend that she wiped the board except for my lands. She played Ruinous Ultimatum. My whole hand here would still be getting charged. And I have, I have 2 separate green 5 matches here that I can use because, fair and balanced. Yeah. And we're going to bring that on up. The Great Henge. We're going to go ahead and use our second ability again. We're once again at 30 loyalty. You will always be at 30 loyalty. It's wacky. Like, oh my gosh. Seriously. You're able to just play everything. And this is just like my easy mode version of this deck, right? Like there's a nasty mode version of this deck that it's not even this. This is not the nasty mode version of this deck, which is crazy to think about. Reclaim the Wastes is definitely going to go ahead and do us much goodness. Am I going to kick it? Nope. Because I'm going to play Turn Timber, and I am going to play an Avatar, which is very clearly going to play out the other Ancient Green Warden in my hand, and that's going to very much be the end of Nahiri. There's nothing doing. This is it. This is the end. I mean, oh my gosh, we're drawing cards because that was that was obviously needed here, right? Oh geez, we needed more cards. What is this nonsense? Oh man. Yeah, no, I'm this is so stupid. In a good way, right? All right, no, we're not going to kick that. What do we have? Turn Timber? Sure, we'll take a Turn Timber. Yeah, okay, we'll convert gems because we're going to get it all back. Why not? Let's get another Green Warden. Get another Yasharn because, we don't have enough stuff yet. We're going to take another Turn Timber. We're absolutely going to kick it for more gem conversion because we're obviously going to be getting our mana back. The loop prevention system is going to be knocking soon and telling me that I'm doing too much stuff. So let's go ahead and take an Avatar here so that we can definitely play out the rest of our hand in peace and end this poor match against this poor Nahiri. Oh, geez. Like, seriously, if you ever go up against this, I apologize. I know that you guys run into some of my decks after I post videos on them, and so if, if you run into this, I'm sorry. This is much more indicative of what the deck is like than the first match, but even still, that first match was wildly overpowering. So, I mean, what even is this, guys? Oh, man. So I'm going to keep pulling the avatars here to keep getting more gem conversion because, once again, gem conversion's our friend. It's going to make more horrible things happen. Reclaim the Wastes. My goodness. How have I not hit the loop timer? Like, I feel like I said it like an hour ago. I didn't. It wasn't an hour ago. Not a literal hour. But it feels that way, Oh, geez. All right. Let's go. Yeah, I feel like I should let the loop thing do... No. Make them big. Get them swole. Get the kill. Oh, not quite 100. Wait. But wait, there's more. It's an infomercial. Get the Green Wardens up. Get them big. Get them big, Malthazar. Get them big. Get them over 100 power. Do it. Get them. Get them. Get them. Oh, yeah. All right, so now you can see that when I said that these things can get over 100 power, I was not joking. I was being very serious. There was much honesty. And speaking of much honesty, geez. All right, let's move this up. Let's move this up. Let's actually keep the colony ambush so that we can, do the kicky things. And we've got another 5 match because that needed to happen. All right. After this, all right. Yeah, I'm definitely going to let the game end after this, though. We achieved our goal of absolute supremacy and destruction. 2 Turn Timbers. Yes, please, and thank you. Kick it for extra mana. Yes. Green Warden. Yes. And, all right, I'm going to lock my hand down. You guys get the idea. I feel like this deck has made its point. It's so busted, guys. It just does. It's so crazy. Look at that. Goodbye, Nahiri. Nahiri's really good, too, but this... Ah, jeez. So, anyways, right? Let's go back to the core, the core four. So what I'm telling you is that you want to get yourselves Yasharn, and you want to get yourselves Realms Uncharted, and you want to get yourselves Reclaim the Waste, and you want to get yourselves Turn Timber Symbiosis, right? That as soon as humanly possible within the game, get those 4 cards. Now, if you're wondering about Avatar of Growth, Avatar of Growth is my next favorite card to add to this. So if you have Avatar of Growth, that's card number 5 that makes this even better, but it's not entirely necessary. My computer is telling me that I'm running out of power, so I should definitely wrap this up. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you feel like the best core that you've encountered so far is in Standard, and I'll see you in the next one.